Modesty is a concept that people today do not practice or think about, but whether or not you think about it is irrelevant because people are always going to be bound by perception, and modesty is the best way to be perceived. Unfortunately, we live in a world that says it's okay for you to live in a modest lifestyle. However, I want to show you that it's not okay to live in a modest lifestyle and it is detrimental to all your life choices and decisions. First off, when most people think about immodesty, they think about the way people dress, but immodesty is a ideology. It's more than the way you dress, even though that is a factor. It's also your behavior. Immodest behavior is rude, crass, and obnoxious, and an immodest dress is more provocative. Today's modern society is desensitized to both behavior and the way people dress. And that is perpetuated by the culture and even in our political structure. An example of immodesty being introduced into our culture is the value of monogamous relationships. Today, our generation still values monogamous relationships, but the rules and the way we view them have changed. For instance, people want to express themselves more freely. They want to deny the traditions of the past and incorporate their own ideas into it. There are no longer any more boundaries or rules to deflect outside factors to influence a monogamous relationship. It's now just open to destruction. According to marriage.com, 85% of people will experience a breakup in their lifetime, and 71% will stay in touch with their exes after they break up. With that in mind, it is important to note that the main reason breakups happen is due to cheating. Cheating is very much an immodest behavior that has become glamorized and glorified in our society today. You hear it propagated throughout movies, books, music, video games. I mean, it really is everywhere and it is implemented into real relationships. Even though cheating itself isn't immodest behavior, it can be influenced by immodest dressing as well. It has been found that people who dress more provocatively are more prone to be sexually enticed and cheat. It has now gotten to a point in society where immodesty has reached children, and promotion of progressive ideology is promotion of sexuality to children and degradation of the nuclear family. For instance, kids in public areas, like if you see kids on beach and there are women and men in bikinis and swimming trunks, no shirts, it's a bunch of this is just the first form of it. Even though it seems simple, it is the first form of desensitization. Most kids are experienced to porn through their friends in public school and social media. Kids at a young age engage with pornography through social media platforms and porn sites due to immodesty. But this is because kids are not growing up with authoritative discipline figures in their home. According to Pew Research, 37% of adults are married and there's no family structure. Kids are losing family structure, and because of this, they have to go out and allow their peers and strangers to raise them. And, well, they don't get instilled with morals and discipline, just what the world tells them to listen to. And pop culture and the government are raising children, parents aren't. The harms that are presented with immodesty is promiscuity and sexual deviance, as well as delusional and crude people. The immodesty that we are desensitized to has allowed for sexual deviance to take over society and promote sexual kinks and sexual ideology in our political system. You see this with liberalism promoting whether or not you stand with it or you don't, but promoting LGBTQ and trans rights. I mean, these are sexual ideologies. If there is to be a solution to fix it, it's possible, not probable. Well, first you need to, it won't happen overnight, but it needs to start with reintroducing modest values into the future society and their culture. So one by one, people have got to make the decision for themselves whether or not they want to become more modest people. And then as time progresses, pass that on to your children and bring back a culture of modest values. But I am convinced that if you do choose to become modest, it will make you a happier and more peaceful person. You are still going to be bound by perception. And I am strongly a believer that people who are dressing and acting in a positive manner are less burdened by perception. Because of that, they are more peaceful and happy people. But that is a choice everybody has to make for themselves. So I strongly encourage you to choose to live modestly because you will be choosing to rebuild a moral code in our society.